The Night the Giggles Vanished by Kim Hicks. Once upon a time, in a gloomy town called Witherwood Hollow, lived a little skeleton named Skully. Skully was a friendly soul who loved to tell spooky stories that made his friends' bones rattle with giggles. But lately, something was different. Skully's friend, a mischievous skeleton named Bones, was acting very strange. One day, Skully and Bones were playing a game of boneyard hide-and-seek. Skully found Bones hiding behind a big tombstone, but when he said, "I found you," Bones just shook his head. "No, you didn't," he insisted. "I wasn't even hiding." Skully's skull was spinning. He knew he had seen Bones, but Bones said he was wrong. This happened a few more times. When Skully would remember a game they had played, Bones would say, "That never happened. You must be imagining things." This is a type of emotional bullying called gaslighting, and it made Skully feel dizzy and unsure of himself, as if his bony memories were full of tangled up cobwebs. Soon after, Bones started to ignore Skully. Skully would rattle his bones to say hello, and Bones would look right through him as if he wasn't there. When Skully tried to talk to him at the haunted playground, Bones would turn and walk away, pretending he didn't hear a thing. This is called ghosting. It felt like Skully had truly become invisible, and it made his ribcage feel as heavy as a graveyard stone. He felt so lonely and sad. The bullying didn't stop there. When other monsters were playing mummy tag, Bones would whisper to them, "Don't let Skully play. His bones are too clanky and he always messes up the game." Skully would stand on the sidelines, wanting to join in, but no one would wrap him in. Bones also started calling Skully hurtful names. "Here comes Skully the skeleton scaredy cat," he'd say loudly whenever Skully rattled near. He also started making fun of Skully's favourite things. When Skully brought his special collection of glowing fireflies to show his friends, Bones pointed and laughed. "Those fireflies are for baby monsters," he scoffed. "Only I can find the really good scary bugs." Skully started to feel a weighty chill in his bones. He stopped wanting to play, and his bony giggles turned into little sighs. He didn't want to haunt the graveyard anymore because he didn't feel like anyone would want to be with him anyway. The once spooky world of Witherwood Hollow seemed a little dimmer. The bullying, the exclusion, the rumours, the hurtful words, and the constant feeling that his own memories and feelings were wrong had done a lot of damage. It wasn't just physical bumps and bruises, it was the kind of hurt you couldn't see, but it was just as real. One foggy afternoon, Skully's grandpa, an old wise vampire named Vlad, saw him sitting alone on a crooked fence post. Vlad saw the sadness in Skully's hollow eye sockets. "Skully," he said softly, "what is making your spirit so blue?" Skully, with a wobbly voice, explained everything. How Bones made him feel crazy, how he was pretending Skully wasn't even there, and how he was telling the other monsters not to play with him. Grandpa Vlad listened carefully. "My dear Skully," he said, "what Bones is doing is not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of his own unhappiness. Bullies, whether they use unkind words, pretend you're not there, or make you doubt yourself, do it because they're hurting inside. The damage they do is real, and it's never your fault. You are a wonderful, kind skeleton, and your feelings and memories are true." Grandpa Vlad put a leathery wing around him. "The most important thing is that you don't have to carry this sadness all by yourself. You do not have to tolerate this behaviour ever. The bravest thing you can do is to ask for help. Bullies aren't brave and they aren't strong. True bravery is being kind, and true strength is asking for help when you need it. You should always talk to a trusted adult. This could be me, your parents, or your teacher, Mrs. Spiderweb. The people who love you want to help you. Your school also has wonderful people who are there to help, like the school counsellor or even Mrs. Spiderweb. They know how to help you and Bones fix this problem. And remember, sometimes if things feel too big to talk about with people you know, there are special phone lines or websites where you can talk to someone who listens and gives advice for free. all just by searching with a grown-up for a kid's helpline. Grandpa Vlad gave Skully a gentle squeeze. A good friend can also be a wonderful listener. While your friends can't fix everything, talking to them can make you feel less alone. There are also many online resources with good advice about how to deal with tough feelings and situations like this. Skully took a deep breath, and the heavy chill in his bones started to feel a little lighter. He realized that he didn't have to be invisible or confused. He decided he would talk to his teacher. The next day, Skully told Mrs. Spiderweb everything. She listened with a kind and understanding face. Mrs. Spiderweb also talked to Bones, and she helped Skully find new friends who cherished the stories and loved to play with him. Skully learned that it's okay to feel hurt, but it's important to ask for help and remember your own worth. The damage from the bullying didn't go away overnight, but with time, support, and the love of true friends, Skully's heart began to heal, and his giggles returned more spirited than ever. He learned that while bullying can do a lot of damage, being brave enough to ask for help can do a lot of good. If you or someone you know is feeling sad or hurt because of bullying, remember that it is never your fault and you are not alone. There are always people who care and can help. The bravest thing you can do is to talk to someone you trust, like a parent, teacher, or school counselor. Your feelings are important and you deserve to be treated with kindness.